How does samadhi become deteriorated? How does panna become degenerated, so that the heart is darkened?
If the heart or samadhi or panna, any of these three undergoes deterioration, it means the rest does also suffer, because they are interrelated. In fact, the heart cannot suffer from deterioration. The heart is just the one who thinks, who ponders, and who feels. When we say it deteriorates, we mean it is thinking of defiling matters, so that it becomes disheartened, arid, and uneasy. Here we say, the heart degenerates, or the citta drops. You may coin a word or phrase in whichever way you like. However, the citta still functions in its usual manner. If the citta is firm and concentrates on one particular object, which is called samadhi, the citta then brightens and rejoices. When it turns to contemplate on anything, it is capable of seeing brilliantly, minutely, and clearly. This is what we call the arising of panna. In conclusion, we may say that when the citta attains samadhi upon being firm on one particular object of concentration, it is capable of further contemplation with uninhibition. This is to say the citta, the samadhi, and the panna are well developed, whereas the contrary will be considered a deterioration. If there is a question as to the cause of deterioration, the answer must be that deterioration is caused by slackness of attention. Having attained that state of samadhi, one becomes imprudent, while at the same time, one is not yet proficient in the matter of citta, samadhi, and panna.
In contemplating the Sankhara, mental formations, if one contemplates with the right view, it becomes Dhamma. If one contemplates with the wrong view, it becomes the world. What shall we do?
In this world, there is no Dhamma, there is only what is the world but a composition of creatures, or, of the physical and mental aggregates. When we were born, the world had already existed. Since we are still living, we ourselves constitute the world. What is the world? It is moving, rotating, and changing. It is not constant. Neither is it firm, nor lasting. This is to say, the world is in this condition forever. So the teacher explicates the topic of the world Dhamma. The world Dhamma consists of happiness and unhappiness, praise and abuse, gain and loss, and honor and dishonour. These are the world Dhamma. They signify the world and are thereby referred to as the Dhamma of the world. So it is difficult to make a just distinction between world and Dhamma. Whatever is Dhamma is the world. Whatever is the world is Dhamma. I have said in the beginning that this world has no Dhamma, there is only the world. If there were to be Dhamma at all, there would be that the world Dhamma. This is why the teacher teaches of the world Dhamma. Once we understand the world Dhamma, we shall not become entangled, neither shall we become attached nor infatuated. In this way, we shall be considered above the mundane. The Buddha became enlightened in nothing but the world Dhamma. This is not the Dhamma above or beyond us. When the Buddha became enlightened in the truth of its condition, he saw its harm. So he became bored and loosened himself of attachment. He was no more infatuated. The heart became clean and brightened, standing above the mundane, higher than the world, at which stage he attained the Lokuttara, Dhamma. And you ask, what shall you do? The answer is, if one contemplated the world in such a way that one sees world as the physical and mental self, while with misunderstanding one becomes attached to it, one is bound to suffer. If one considers the physical and mental entity as it truly is, in the same way as one considers the world, one will not be lost in the wrong view and will not become attached to it. One will certainly loosen oneself and lay down the burden. This is agreeable with the Dhamma and leads not to suffering. When one contemplates and sees thoroughly and clearly the whole truth, one will not make a fool of oneself by becoming attached to the physical or mental entity, for it will only bring about suffering naturally.